What I'm showing here is that you don't always have to film the planes. I mean, it's bad enough seeing them spraying this shit, folks, but the real problem is this shit, this detritus sent to blight us that's left in their wake, folks. Look at it. That's the main concern. It's the bigger picture that the planes have gone. This stuff lingers on, folks, and it creates this whiteout right across the UK, folks. And it's maddening, absolutely maddening to know that this is on purpose, folks. All of it, look at it. The entire UK is given over to this evil scheme, folks, by those very same people who want us to believe they don't exist. The same people that put the lunatics in charge of the asylum that it's been turned into, folks. The likes of Keir Starmer, they call him Stormer now, because he's full of shit. 10 out of 10 for that one. And all these other idiots. I think back to Boris Johnson, and I think back to this scamdemic and all these fuckers in New Zealand and Australia. Crazy folks, absolutely crazy. And these people just don't give a shit. You see it now widening itself out, folks. Dripping down, call it what you will. I'll zoom in on it. I've just been listening to Mark Steele again as he's explaining these, what they call ULEZ cameras that work off the infrared, that were designed for the battlefield, so they are weapons tech, and they incorporate radar and LiDAR technology to form part of the phased array system that captures data from inside, say, your vehicle, if you're walking past, from your wireless body area network, or your MAC address, in other words, folks, from your mobile phones, from inside your car. This stuff is target acquiring. It's weapons tech, folks. And it's beamforming. And it's track. And it's trace. And it's erase, if need be, yeah? Have a think about that. And these beams, these lasers, this radar, this LiDAR, this phased array system has been turned on us. You should be aware, folks, of not just what is up in the air, but what is taking place down on the ground, what is taking place in the schoolroom, in the colleges and the universities, what is taking place inside these fucking jabs, inside the food, inside the water, folks. Everything is synthetic. Everything that I'm telling you about, folks, is of massive concern, because from here on, folks, the future's not ours. The future's now being given over to these evil bastards who are incorporating and ushering in their fourth industrial evil solution, not revolution, folks. You see this line now that looks cloud-like, but it isn't, folks. At the back end of it here, just above the tree, you see it now taking on this cloud-like, flat, white shape, folks. We all look carefully into it, and you'll see the telltale lines and signs, folks. And the old, no farmers, no food. I wrestle with that one, folks, because I'm in a situation here whereby I know exactly what a lot of these farmers do to the soils, to the crops, to the harvests, constantly over and over and over and over. And they overspill into the air, into the water systems, into the root systems, folks. It's just unbelievable. It's difficult to support any of it. Ideally, we should be self-sustained, but we've not been brought up to be, folks, and it's difficult to transition, but it is what it is. I don't think things are going to change in my lifetime. They're not. They're definitely not. Too much has happened. There's no going back. No going back, folks. As these fuckers that are doing all this evil crap, they have their redoubts. And I'm not talking about the likes of Bill Gates and Elon Musk and fucking Zuckerberg and them folks, and the politicians like Trump and them. They'll be gone when it suits. They've got a job to do, and they'll be terminated just the fucking same. But those that we don't know about, the very, very intelligent that have placed all this corruption and evil and idiocy in charge of the asylum folks, they are well out of reach. And we just have to try now and inform the people of the future. Try and give them as much evidence as we can, in the hopes that at some point, I can hear an aircraft now, at some point that they can exact the changes that we were unable to, folks. And we are unable to. Yeah. Nothing's going to change now. Things are just going to get stealthily worse, like they have done for the past 100 years or so, folks. I'm just stating the obvious. I'm using my common sense and, just thinking things through, weighing everything up, folks. And it's easy to do. It's easy to work it all out. I look back at the real history and look at how things were better in the past and people were a lot healthier and wealthier in the past, folks, and we're told today that they weren't, that people were poor in the past, that this, that and the other fucking thing, despite the fact that they were paid in gold and paid in silver. Some of the stunning architecture, the stunning things that they built, the contraptions that they had, the wireless technologies they had, all those hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands of years ago, folks. Because I question history and I question how far anything goes back. And that's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, folks, is to question everything and believe fuck all. Believe fuck all. Trust your gut wherever possible. But for now, folks, honestly, nothing's going to change. No protesting. Nothing. Because they've factored in their problem reaction solutions long before we even realised there was a problem and started screaming for a solution, which means they had their reactions. Yeah, and solutions to our they have their solutions to our reactions. Probably before we were born. I kid ye not, folks. I kid ye not. Here's one of the problems that always gets my reaction. But there's no solution, folks, to my reaction. Because this is a solution to something completely different. This is a solution not to a problem, folks. This is a solution to a revolution, an evil solution. I kid ye not.